Hey, Tomahawk 5th graders. This is Mrs. Young talking to you guys about the race strategy today. So yesterday, the two Google slides that you were supposed to do were about the R and the A in race, which was restate and answer the question. So race strategy is a really great strategy for when we're answering multi-step or even questions that want some evidence with it, okay? So right now, we're going to talk about just the R and the A to review those two things, and then we'll talk about the C and the E here in a little bit. But before I even read a passage like this, I always like to highlight the question just so I know what question I'm answering. So it says, how can you avoid cavities? Now, the great thing about the race strategy is that the R, you can do the restating part even before you answer the question or read the passage. So the race strategy says restate the question. And if you know anything about Greek and Latin roots, means again, and then state means a sentence. So basically, we're going to write a sentence or, say this question in a different way. Okay. So we don't want a question anymore. We want a sentence. We want to state what is happening. So that means we need to take out the question word. So when you look at this question, how can you avoid cavities? The how is actually the question word. So you cross it out. Okay. So it says, can you avoid cavities? Well, that doesn't really make sense. First of all, you're answering the question for you, so you don't talk about you in the second person, you talk about you in the first person, so you go ahead and change you words to I words, okay? And then, can I avoid cavities? That's still a question. So now what we need to do is we need to switch those words around so that way it makes a sentence. So I can avoid cavities. If you notice, all I had to do was switch two words. So, I can avoid cavities. And I apologize for my handwriting. I'm not very good at writing on tablets. Okay. Now, the last thing in the restate part is that you need to make sure you include connecting words. So, I can avoid cavities by is a great connecting word. Okay, so now I am done with the restate. Now, then in order to move on, the next part is the answer. So we're looking just for the big idea. You're not looking for details. You're not looking for examples. You're just looking for the big idea. So in this article, how can I avoid cavities? Okay, so let's go ahead and read it. It's called Healthy Teeth. Dentists say that we should all brush our teeth twice a day. Why do they say this? It is because brushing your teeth helps prevent cavities. When you eat, pieces of food get stuck in your teeth, and if the food stays there, it can cause damage. Sugar is especially damaging and should be avoided. In addition to brushing your teeth twice a day, you should also floss to clean small pieces of food between the teeth. This will help your mouth, this will keep your mouth healthy and prevent cavities. Okay. So I would say that you need to look at the big idea, okay? Dentists say that there's something very important that we need to do, which is definitely brushing your teeth, okay? But does anybody else see anything that we probably should include another big idea? Because I do. Okay, I know this sounds a little weird, but because it says in addition to brushing your teeth, how else can you keep your teeth clean? You should also floss, okay? So this question actually has two answers. You need to look at the entire paragraph and make sure you have all the big ideas. So the big ideas is brushing and flossing, okay? So you go ahead and put it as your answer attached to your restatement. So it says, I can avoid cavities by brushing and flossing my teeth. And if you notice, I'm using the different colors of the restate or the race strategy. That way you can just see all the different parts. So now I'm done with the A. Okay. And I don't have an orange marker, so I'm going to do rainbow because that's just fun. So C is cite evidence. So this one's the new one. Okay. Cite is just a fancy word for, or cite examples is just a fancy word for, like, give me examples. What are some reasons why? Okay. So since we have two answers, we need to look for why we brush our teeth and why we floss our teeth. Okay. So whenever you have an answer, if you guys notice, there's a space right here after brushing your teeth, and then there's a space right here after flossing your teeth, which means the examples are probably in those spaces, okay? So, and paragraphs are organized very logically. So the space after brushing your teeth are all the examples why you should brush your teeth. Yay! Okay, so now let's look at that little part. It says, why do they say this? Well, that's not an example, so I don't need that part. Okay. It is because brushing your teeth helps prevent cavities. Ooh, that's good. But we already know that, right? So we don't need that because that was in our question. I can avoid cavities by brushing my teeth. And then it says, when you eat, pieces of food get stuck to your teeth, and if the food stays there, it can cause damage. Okay, so now don't just highlight or underline everything. What you need to do is only pick out the important parts. Okay, so I know it can cause damage, but how does it cause damage? When food gets stuck to your teeth. This is one of the things that a lot of students make a mistake of. They just want to repeat that sentence, but you can't because you guys didn't write this paragraph. So you need to make sure that you are stating this in your own words. So by highlighting just a few of the important parts, that's easier to make a sentence. So let's go back to our answer. I can avoid cavities by brushing and flossing my teeth. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to say why these things help. So brushing helps. And if you guys notice, I'm putting a beginning, some beginning words, some connecting words. Okay. Brushing helps because, and then tell me why it helps. Okay. Because it prevents food from getting stuck to your teeth. And causing damage. Okay. All right, so we've answered the brushing, but if you guys notice, how many parts to our answer did we have? We had 2. The brushing right here, and the flossing right here. Okay, I don't know why I keep doing that. It hates me. Okay, so now we have to explain the flossing. Now remember, the reasons and the explanations are probably right behind the word floss. So we're going to look down at that second part, right? Right down here. So in addition to brushing your teeth twice a day, you should also floss to, why do you floss? Clean small pieces of food between the teeth. So kind of pick out the most important words here. You don't want to say clean small pieces of food between the teeth because those are the author's words. So I would say probably between the teeth and to clean are probably the smallest or the best words, the most important words there. Okay. So then you're going to say, since I said brushing helps because it prevents food from getting, I could do a different word. Or I could just use the same one. Okay, so flossing, or sorry, same stem. Flossing helps because it cleans between your teeth. My pen hates me. I don't know why it keeps pulling up that menu. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now the last part of the race strategy is to explain. Okay, now there are a couple of different ways you can explain. With these short paragraphs, you're really not going to have a lot to explain because it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, we've pretty much used everything from the paragraph. We've torn this paragraph apart. And if you ever write like a really, really long essay, like sometime in 5th grade, you're going to have to write a 5-paragraph essay. You're going to have to do a lot of explaining as to why that helps. Okay, but for right now, this is just basically a conclusion. So you're going to say something along the lines of, let's see, I can avoid cavities by brushing and flossing my teeth. Brushing helps because it prevents food from getting stuck to your teeth and causing damage. Flossing helps because it cleans between your teeth. And so then you could say something like, that is how I know brushing and flossing prevent cavities. And that's the race strategy, guys. Okay. So hopefully this will become something that becomes becomes really fast to you guys. I did want to answer one question that you guys might have, though. Some of you guys might be like, what about that sugar? Right? Sugar should be avoided. Mrs. Young, you didn't include that example. No, I didn't. Could I have? Of course I could have. But really, it just says give reasons from the paragraph to support your answer. It doesn't say give all the reasons. So if you wanted to include 2 reasons for brushing your teeth, you could have. Or instead of saying brushing helps because it prevents food from getting stuck to your teeth and causing damage, you could also say avoiding sugar, or brushing helps because it gets the sugar off your teeth and doesn't cause, or helps it not cause damage, those types of things. But for the most part, this is how you do the strategy. I know this was a long video. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Hopefully that helps you guys. Okay? Let Mrs. Sutton and I know if you guys have any questions.